pop up. But yeah, there's plenty of workouts there of variety of types for you guys to take advantage of the rest of the week. And as I said on Thursday, the best thing to do is just schedule your regular time and just show up and pick a workout that way. So let's go into some hip rotations here, up and back to front, switching legs. If you've been feeling infirm or like you're fighting something off, maybe this is just a good week for a little TLC, rest or low intensity stretching, or just some light cardio to keep you going. Just kind of listen to yourself and what you need. But if you're feeling 110%, I would also recommend just building some good cardio intensity into your week, some good sweating with this continued freezing, below freezing temperatures. Might be good to just get some intensity in. All right, so from there, we're going to come down on all fours. And we're going to start with some cat and cow here. You spread the fingers out so you're almost getting like a stretch in your hands while you're here, and then just start to flow the breath with the movement of the spine. The other thing moving forward is that you can start signing up for any of the live group classes that you're coming to. You can sign up for those on the app. You won't see anything scheduled to sign up for until Saturday, but there's a tab when you open the app. Everything is at the bottom of the screen, right? The workouts are at the bottom of the screen, and then there's another button that says schedule. So you would push schedule and go to the day and the date that you want to sign up for a class. And you should have no problem signing up for classes there. The other software that I've been using for a number of years now, I canceled my subscription to that. So don't worry about going through there. So go ahead and gently release here, level, and then walk your hands down the side of your body a little bit, creating a side bend and just feeling that long stretch on the opposite side. So moving forward, all the recorded workouts you can access either through the app, which also link to where they are actually landing, which is on the YouTube channel. So you can go to either place. If you want to follow the schedule, then you access through the app. If you want to just pick a workout that you want to do that's recorded, you can just go to the YouTube channel and look at the various playlists and pick one there. So let's go ahead, walk our hands back through center and over to the other side. So as we go through this month, once I return in the next couple of months, we'll get some refresh workouts. Everything that was on the other database that I had was starting to get a little dated, in my opinion, for what we've been doing. And so I just kind of let it go to the wayside, and we'll just start adding a little bit more to the what we've been working on the last 6 or so months. So from here, spread your knees out a little bit, pull your hands a little forwards, and just do some gentle hip rockers here. Drawing in at center, pull the hips back, keep the arms stretched. So you feel that stretch in the shoulders, the glutes, and the low back. All right, so from there, let's transition into our last little active stretch here. Seated position. What you're gonna do here and start with one leg out, one foot in. You're gonna reach down the leg, hold for a couple seconds, and then reach up and switch the legs. And then reach down the other leg and just kind of keep switching back and forth. One more time to each side, so just kind of finish it off nice and even for yourself on both sides. And then from there, we're gonna meet down, laying on our side. We'll move into a little bit of activation here. So legs straight and stacked. Always a little bit more forward than you would think. That way you're not rocking back and forth as we lift the top leg. So we're lifting the top leg, but simultaneously pressing it back. So feel the glutes, feel the backside of the leg. Okay, good. Two more here, and then we're gonna flip to the other side. And what we will do in this series is just kind of work from all directions of the body. So laying on our side, laying on our stomach, on our back. So just restart the same exercise on this side. One more. And then from there, you're going to come right onto your stomach. You can rest your chin on your hands. And then you're going to go to the hip extension. So just one leg at a time, about 12 reps. Leg is nice and long. And then you go right over to the other leg. Once we're done on this side, we're going to pop ourselves up onto all fours. And this one's a little more mobility than it is, but activation. So you're going to just do some hip circles here. So not about speed, but really about range of motion of that hip. Go forward and then back. Just alternating the direction until you've done a total of 10. And then you go right over to the other leg and do the same thing. And then when you're done on both sides here, you're going to pop down onto your back. And then we're going to do some bridges on our backs. You can go up and down for 12 reps. Get everything nice and aligned. Press those feet right through the floor, lift and squeeze. When you're done there, we're going to come up to seated. We're going to sit with our legs straight. We're just going to do some quad sets. You can do a little bit of support with your hands back if you want, but just focus on one leg. Contract the thigh, feel it tense, hold for a couple counts, and then release. And then do it again, essentially just the way we did all the other exercises. Good. So 10 to 12 on each leg. And then once you're done on both legs there, we're going to come right up to standing. Back to some single leg work with the standing clam. So we want to tip a little forward with this. You're going to bend the standing leg just a little bit and then kick the other foot back so it looks like you don't even have a leg below your knee until you bring it out to the side. You can see it a little bit. So just like the other ones, about 10 to 12 reps here. Kind of keep the moving leg about level with the standing leg, not too far forward, not too far back. Press those toes of that standing foot right down into the floor. And when you're done on that side, go right over to the other side. Reset the position, take the time there, and then go through it. Awesome job. From there, we're going to go into just a quick little set of balance work. Not that we haven't already done that. And what we're going to start with is just a nice split stance stand. So one foot right in front of the other. And it's up to you how close you feel you can have the heel to the toe. You can be directly in line or a little bit further apart. Pull the shoulders up, back and down. Just bring your arms to your side. And if this feels relatively easy, you can close your eyes. And you'll start to feel that interplay of the inner ear with that balance. Great place to work on that rib to hip, hip to rib connection before we get into the rest of our work. And then from there, go ahead, open the eyes, and then step the back foot to the front now. And let's do it all over again and notice if it feels different. You feel nice and steady, you can play with closing the eyes. You can always just close one and then the other and kind of go back and forth, or you can try both. Awesome, awesome. And then go ahead and gently release. You're going to keep the front foot right where it is, and then just bring the back foot lifted up so you're on a single leg stand now. That might feel just a little bit more difficult right out of the get-go, but again, it's a safe environment, right? And it's all about progress, not perfection. So go ahead and try playing with the closing of the eyes here. And feel the nervous system try to figure it out. And then go ahead and switch on to the other foot and come right back into it. Good, you guys. Be so much fun. So just this stuff you guys could work on the rest of the week too. So go ahead, gently release, but come back to the first foot. Keep your eyes open this time because we're just going to take it through some of that four-way hip motion, which we've already done on the ground, but now we'll just make it, a little bit more challenging. So we'll start with the back, hip extension, bring it back to center, to that diagonal, center, straight out to 90 degrees, center, and then just sweep it forward. And then go right back through. Total of 3 times with all of these moves here, and then we'll go right over to the other leg. From there, we have one more thing that we're going to do to put it all together. And it's the squat to the inchworm. So you're going to warm up your squat, bring your hands to the floor, walk yourself out to your high plank, rise up on your toes, and then bend your knees and walk your hands back to the squat. And then walk yourself back out again. Just a total of 3 of these will be very sufficient. And then we'll take a little break, grab some water, and then we'll do a nice warm-up set of some lower body strength. And just building on everything else we did in that lengthy warm-up. All right, we're going to do these 4 exercises 2 times. We don't need any, well, we will use some weight at some point, but we're going to start with just a body weight squat. So just go for that as soon as you're ready. Let's just go 8 reps. And just feel the evenness as you sit back and down, or notice any subtleties if you start to shift to one side more than the other if you feel the hips or knees quivering just a little bit. And then when we're done with the 8 bodyweight squats, you're then going to take it into 6 single leg squats. So coming back to that single leg balance, you want to keep the knee nice and centered, feet, toes grounded. Good. And then step right onto that other leg and go right into it again. These are also good to work on without shoes. Awesome. So for the next 2 exercises, we'll add some weight. So first we're going to do the good morning. So let's just grab a moderate dumbbell, or actually for the good morning, if you have a stick, let's do the stick because then we can also work on our shoulder mobility. So if you've got the stick, meaty part of the shoulders, if you don't have the stick, you can put a weight behind you or hold it at your chest. From there, you're going to just bend at the waist and lengthen forward, not pulling the hips back, and then come right back up to standing. So here, much more proactive work for the low back, trying to keep the hamstrings quiet. Excellent, excellent, you guys. And let's release there. You're going to get rid of that stick. If you have the weight, you're just going to bring it down in front of you, and we're going to go in to a deadlift. So just one dumbbell or one lighter kettlebell is cool. Same exact position, but this time we do want to focus on pulling the hips back as we hinge at the hips, so we feel the stretch in the glutes and the hamstrings. Stay strong at the core. Given that it's the first workout day of a new month, and I'm not going to be present for you the rest of the week, I kind of went this resetting route for today. So just like 8 to 10 reps here, whatever feels good to you. And then we'll take a quick little break. Keep that weight because we'll use it this time for the regular squat, but for the single leg squats, we'll stay with just the body weight. Unless you would like to use a weight, you are welcome to. All right, so when you're ready, let's do another set. This time you can hold the weight up at your chest as a goblet squat. And again, let's just go for the 8. And then from there, whether you want to use the weight or not, you're going to go single leg squat. And again, let's just keep it at 6. I want to make sure we get through everything today, so we'll save our weighted energy for the final circuit. Awesome job, you guys. And then when you're done with these, we'll go back to the good morning. You can use the stick or you can use the weight, whatever feels good. Knees soften, hip forward without pulling too far back. Keep the rib to hip to rib connection. And let's just go for 8 reps on this time. And then we'll do 8 more on the deadlift. Gotta keep those hips prime, right? You all look good. All right, and then we'll finish up this series with one more set of deadlifts. Again, about 8 reps. Really soft, big stretch on the back side of the body. Awesome. So take a little break. We're gonna do some similar for the upper body now. And for that, you'll want a resistance tubing set up to do a standing row. Just anchor it wherever you have the ability to anchor it. And then you'll want a nice light set of weights for some arm raises. We're not looking for heavy here. We're looking more for the movement and just really warming up the shoulders. But first, we're going to start with a set of push-ups. So 6 to 8 push-ups from whatever position works for you. Really fire up that core and then go for it. Awesome. Ribs to hips, hips to ribs. Excellent. And then from there, we're going to the standing row. So once you're done with your push-ups, you're going to come on over to your band. Stand back with your arms extended. Anchor through the feet, bend the knees just a little bit, and then pull and squeeze the back. So feel those muscles activate on both sides of the back. Feel your core stability preventing you from bouncing around or leaning back and leaning forward from the resistance of the band movement. So 8 to 10 is good here. And then process of elimination, we go to our light weights next. 1 in each hand. And again, we'll just go back to 8 reps. So you're going to go front raise, pull it out to the side and down. That's 1. Side raise, pull it to the front and down. That's 2. So right up to 6 here. You guys are looking good. And then we take a quick break. And we'll go through that one more time. So last year at this time is when I got the norovirus. It was so horrifying that I remember the anniversary date of that because, of course, we were then taking off for a lovely vacation 2 days later. This year, at this time, which was last week, I think, I shared with you guys last week that I just damaged my back, not moving a heavy box or an awkward sized box just by over stretching. I would take the back injury over the norovirus 100 times. So, I don't know what it is about this time of the year, but it seems to be happening to a lot of people. More on the cold side of things. So let's come right back down to the floor and do 6 more push-ups. And then we'll move to our band for the rows. So we should all just be happy that we're here today. Happy that we're here, we're warm, and we're healthy. And we're warm in multiple ways, right? Because we're in our warm homes, but we're also a little extra warm because we're working out right now. We're stepping back, anchoring down, and then going for those rows. So about 8 is good. Connect into those deepest parts of your core. And then we're going to come back to our light weights. We're going to switch our movement just a little bit here. So this time one arm's going to lift to the side, the other one's going to lift forward and come down. So once we do both of these in each direction, that's 1 rep. We'll go right up to 6. Awesome. All right. So from there, another quick break, and then we're going to go into our last series before we get into our full circuit of full weight. We're going to do a little bit of core work next. So we don't need any equipment for that. And we're going to come right down to the floor, and you're going to start with a plank. And we're going to move the legs so we can work a little bit of mobility with the plank. So you can do this from your forearms, or you can do this from a high plank position. Maybe you do 1 of each. So you're going to come into that high plank, establish yourself, and then take knee to same elbow on both legs. And then knee to nose, rounding a little bit. If you're doing a crunch. And then knee to opposite elbow. And then you're going to go through all of that 2 more times with each move. Once you're done 3 times with each move with each leg, we're then going to reconvene down on our stomach for some super women lifts. Awesome job with us, you guys. Once you're done, we come right down. And then for this first set, let's take our arms out into a T position. Let your hips fall heavy to the floor, feet relaxed, eyes looking down, and then just go ahead and lift everything up, squeezing the back chain and lower. So 6 to 8, whatever feels good to your body. Want to feel that activation in the muscles around the shoulder blades, the low back muscles, the hamstrings, the glutes. And then once you're done there, we're going to tip over on to our back. And we're going to take it into the double leg stretch. So you're going to start curled up into a ball, zip it up, and then you're going to open up. Squeeze the legs together, but reach the legs out, reach the arms overhead, bring it in, and then get long again. Drawing front body to back body so it feels generally flat against the floor, or at least in a really safe, neutral position for what your body is. And just up to 6 of these. And then we're going to bring everything down, and we're going to do a set of reverse crunches after for 8 reps. You've got plenty of different options for how you position your legs for reverse crunch. The important thing is the deep core muscles are moving a little bit more actively as you move inward, and then the pelvis is nice and stable as you move out. And then when you're done with that, just bring your heels down, do a few little pelvic tilts as a bit of a release, and then take a little break, and we'll flip on over and go through it all one more time. All right, so for the plank, everything is the same. If you did it on high plank and you want to try it from forearm plank this time, you can, or vice versa. But go ahead, 3 times through for each 3 moves. So to the outside first, knee to nose second, and then knee to opposite elbow third. From there, you're going to come right down onto your stomach for the Superman lifts. This time, let's bring the arms in that 90-degree position. And then everything else is the same. You're just lifting and lowering. Squeezing as you lift up. And up to 6 of these is good. And then you're going to turn over onto your back, going back to the double leg stretch, starting with your knees hugged right into your chest. And then you open and lengthen. So you can squeeze the legs together, reach out and reach over with your arms. 6 to 8 here, whatever feels good for your body. And then we go to our reverse crunch for 6 to 8 reps on the reverse crunch when you're done here. Excellent. And then once you're done your reverse crunches, just bring your feet down and go through some gentle pelvic tilt as a nice little reset, a nice little rinse. And then we'll take a break and get into the final full body, full weighted circuit. So any of the movements that we haven't really done yet are coming into play here, which includes some lunges, some weighted rows, and then some pressing on your back. All right, so make a decision about the weight that you want to use. We're going to be doing some alternating reverse lunges, followed by some bent over rows, followed by some alternating forward lunges. And then we come down to the floor for the twisting chest press. And just like the rest of them, we're just going to do like 2 sets through of each of them. And then we'll get into some stretching. Wrap it all up today. Right, so let's start with the reverse lunges. Grab your dumbbells. Find your best starting position and go alternating legs. Let's go for a total of 10 to 12. Keeping those knees centered, keeping the feet on different railroad tracks. So from there, you're going to switch your weight if you need to. We're going to tip forward and go into our bent over rows. Both arms together. The weights are kind of tracking from the bottom part of the rib cage, in between the bottom part of the rib cage and the hips. So we're really engaging the whole back, from the shoulders right down to the low back. 10 to 12 here. Looking good, you guys. And then from there, we're going back to lunging, but this time it's our forward lunging. So a lot more quad dominant. So grab the weights that you want to use there. And again, a total of 10 to 12. Knees centered. And again, they're on different railroad tracks. Make sure we're engaging those sideline muscles of the legs so the knees don't fall into the center. Awesome, awesome. When you're done there, you're going to come down on your back with your pressing weight, and we're just adding that shoulder rotation to it. So you're going down in a regular motion and turning in as you press up. From there, you're turning back out on the way down, turning in on the way up. So 10 to 12 reps on that. So you're getting both little wide, little close, but the shoulder rotation in a really healthy way. Good, good, good. Once you're done with these 10 to 12, you can take a break. And then we'll do one more set after the break, changing absolutely nothing about the second set, unless you want to change your weight selection. All right, let's go through it one more time. Reverse lunge, alternating legs, total of 10 to 12. Looking good, loving the alignment. Loving the eyes, not staring down at the floor. Once you're done with those lunges, you're gonna readjust the position with the same or different weights and go right into your standing rows. Have any of you heard of a pepper patch before? No. So I got some acupuncture on Friday, and the acupuncturist is like, "Here, I'm gonna put a pepper patch on you." And it's like, you know how a spicy pepper is in your mouth, right? Or if you've had electric stim before, or like you turn up a TENS unit, it's like that prickly, spicy feeling for like over 24 hours. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I was like, oh man, she gave me an extra one. I was like, no, I don't think so. It was definitely it made things better, but first you had to go through the discomfort of having the patch on for that long. So let's go to your forward lunges now. Spicy. That's how I described it. It was spicy. Guys, awesome work as usual. When you're done with those lunges, you're going to come right down on the floor, on your back for that twisting press, and then we can stay right on the floor to start the stretching. So 10 to 12 reps to finish it right up, going down wide and coming up close. Little rotation in and rotation out as you go down. Mm-hmm. So once you're done, you can just place your weights right off to the side. And from there, let's lift one leg straight up, give it a little support on the back of the leg with our hands. Let's go ahead, draw the leg a little bit away from the midline, maybe supporting the outside of the leg with a hand. Hips stay nice and stable here. Feeling a little bit of a stretch on the inside of the hip. And then go ahead, bring the leg back to center, and then let it come across the midline, and maybe supporting it with a hand on the inside of the leg a little bit. The hip will lift a little bit off the ground here, but you're not looking to roll onto your side, but feeling that nice stretch down the outside of the leg and in the glutes. Let's go ahead, come back to center. Use your core strength to lower the leg and bring the other one right up. Let's go ahead and bring the leg out away from the midline. Go ahead, bring it back to center, take it across the midline. then go ahead, bring it to center, lower the leg. And then walk that leg up and in and cross the other one over it for a figure 4 stretch. Let's go ahead, uncross this leg and then cross the other one. And then gently release there. Turn onto your side for a lying quad stretch. Pull heel to butt. Press the hand to the foot. Press the foot to the hand. Then release. We're going to flip sides to the other leg. So tomorrow I'm going back out to Colorado to reconvene with real estate colleagues from a class I took last year. It was just kind of a select group of us who were invited out. And it's going to be 61 degrees there on Thursday. That's going to feel like complete heaven, right? Compared to below 0. Gonna soak up some of that Colorado sunshine, particularly on Thursday. This morning here, it was 10 below. This morning at the same time there, it was 34 degrees. Even that is going to feel like a heat wave compared to what we've been given here. And it is not supposed to be warm this weekend. Go ahead, gently release. Let's come into child's pose. You can keep your knees closed or open them up, whatever you need, and then just stretch your hips back, stretch your arms forward, find just the perfect place for you. And of course, this morning, like I'm going in to teach some yoga nice and early, and I'm listening to NPR, and I just had to turn it off because it's like they were even talking doom and gloom about like fuel supplies because of the extreme cold and whatever. I was like, I just can't listen to this anymore. So let's go ahead, gently rise up to all fours. And from all fours, just bring yourself up to standing. Gently, just kind of shaking some things out a little bit. Just a little bit of gentle swing and rock. And then take one final big stretch up and over. And let it go. Awesome job, you guys. So log into the app. Everything that you need is right there. There's 9 weeks of videos and different things. I gotta add a little bit more for this week, but it'll all be there. So under the workouts and then start to sign up for your classes under the schedule tab. Thank you for being here today, ladies. Great job. I'll see you next week or Saturday.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.